What up, guys? Thanks for stopping by and checking out the video. At the end of this video, you will get to see who wins the first Royal Pass giveaway for Season 13. But I wanted to do a video on the new KD system. I just learned a little bit ago, my buddy told me to watch Riggs, and he pointed out that the KD system has completely changed. It's really no longer a KD system. It's not a kill-death ratio. It is now like it's a KM situation. It's a kills per match ratio. And so that changes everything about your KD because they don't accumulate. So, for example, let's just say you started a bronze account and because you're a good player and you're not really a bronze player, let's say you win the first 10 games and you get 15 kills per game. In the old system, your KD after those 10 games, because you didn't die, you won every game, it would be 150. 10 games played, which is really irrelevant. It's all about when you die. And since you haven't died yet, it just accumulates all your kills until you die. If you want to test this out and really see exactly how it works, just go play TDM and watch your KD the way that it works. If you die once, your KD is whatever your kills is. And so the new system is going to be based on per game. So if you get 5 kills per game, 10 games in a row, and you win each game, your KD is still 5. It doesn't accumulate like it used to. This is just going to drop everyone's KD. There's no possible way that KDs remain the same, no matter what. Even if you have a 2% kill win ratio, that 2% still helps you to some extent. And so now you have 0 help. Who knows? I personally like this. The reason I like it is because when I look at people's stats, I'm so reluctant to look at their squad stats and really take anything out of them. I mean, obviously it says something, but it doesn't say everything. It's not the full story. I much prefer to look at duo stats, and I really like players that play a lot of solos because that's really a reflection of their true stats. There's nobody helping them. There's nobody carrying them. And if you look at people's stats, typically, especially the better players who play with like really high-end clans, their by far best stats are in squads because they only play with other really good players. They're very selective about it. You'll see it on Facebook. You know, such and such is looking for somebody to run squads with or to play with. Got to have above a 7 KD or a 5 KD or whatever. You know, they're very selective about who they play with, and therefore the reason is because they want to get those wins. They want a team that can win the game. Because when they get those wins, even if they got 0 kills that game, it doesn't hurt their KD because they didn't die. As long as they can make it up in the next game, they're good. That's going to eliminate all this. It's not going to matter anymore. And in fact, I don't know about you guys, I get a lot more kills when I play solo versus duo or solo versus squad. Now, I'm probably not going to last the whole game, but I can wipe out a few squads and have 8 or 9 kills and die number, 15th, and I got 8 or 9 kills. But when I'm with a full squad, it's really hard to get 8 or 9 kills because the people I play with are close to as good as me or better than me, and so I'm basically going toe-to-toe trying to get to the kill first. Now, I personally don't really care about stats, so it doesn't matter to me, but when you're playing with really good players, it's difficult to keep up. And it's really difficult to get kills unless you're one of the better players on the squad. So, what that means is, the guys that are playing in squads, and let's say they're the weakest link on the squad, okay, they may still have an 8 KD. An 8 KD player is a really good player. But, that guy might have a 40 or 50% win ratio. But is it really his win ratio? Because he's choosing who he plays with. You know, he's playing with people that are putting him in a position to be able to have those stats. Because there's so many people out there who have amazing squad stats, mediocre duo stats, and downright not that good solo stats. So it really is so obvious to see. Anybody that looks at stats, anybody that's played the game for any amount of time, can see that the better team you play with, the better your stats get. Obviously, you have to be good enough to keep up, but there's a lot of times that you're playing on squads and you get 2 kills, 3 kills. You have guys that consistently get 2 or 3 kills that have a 6 KD because they have a 50% win ratio. You can look at their average damage per game, and it'll be like 400 for their average damage per game, but they'll have an 8 KD. How is that possible? Because they've got a 50% win ratio. There's a big discrepancy between the actual kills they're getting and their actual KD, right? So that's why I think this is a good thing. This is going to bring it down to reflect closer to your average damage. So if your average damage is 400, you're getting about 4 kills per game, 3 to 4 kills per game. So therefore your KD would be 3 to 4. If you have a win ratio of 80%, it's still going to be 3 or 4, which is a reflection of what you are doing each game, not about what your team is doing, right? Your team may be just ridiculously awesome and they're carrying you, but yet you have a 10 KD. But yet in duos you may have a 3 KD. It doesn't make sense, right? It just doesn't make sense. And so to me, in my opinion, even though this is going to tick off a lot of people with high KDs, also keep in mind that Tencent doesn't care about the top players. Like, think about it. The average player in PUBG, from what Tencent says, is gold and platinum. From silver to platinum. That's why your wait times are lowest in those ranks. And so at those with that reality, like, just make it into ace and look at the percentage of player you are on the server. You're in the 1% usually. Like, top players are the 1%. This isn't the federal government, right? We're not catering to the 1% at Tencent. Tencent is just all about making money. Let's just be honest. They're all about making money and keeping their majority user base happy. And those people have lower KDs. And those people are not playing on ridiculously good squads. They're playing on just your average squad to random squads, and therefore they're not benefiting a whole ton by having a great win ratio. Because they're usually not getting it. It's usually like 10%, 8%. So the bump in KD is not very significant. But when your win ratio is 50%, it literally doubles your KD almost. So that's why I think this is going to be a big shift, because KD is so important to a lot of players, and they're going to continue trying to keep it up, even though they know it's going to drop. It may go from 20 to 10. They don't want it to go to 6. Like, they're still going to try to keep it up. And now the big focus is going to be kills per game. In my opinion, this is going to make people play a lot more aggressive throughout the entire game. Instead of snaking at the end of the game and trying to win it, you're way better off just going around trying to kill people. Like, winning means less now in terms of KD. It means nothing, honestly. So, I don't know. I see it as a good thing. I think people are going to be a lot less campish at the end of the game. I think it's going to break up some of these really good teams, because some of these players who on these top teams may average 3-4 kills per game because they can't keep up with the dudes that are getting 8 to 10 kills per game. I think a lot of those guys are going to leave because they're not getting the benefit of those wins anymore, and they can only get 3 or 4 kills. So while their buddies still have 8 KDs, and they used to have comparable KDs, now those same guys are going to have 3 KD, right? And I just think it's going to break up some top teams, not the really serious ones, but just some of the sweatier teams that are just individuals that are pretty serious about the game, but not like necessarily people practicing for scrims. And when you take it to that level, it's not going to change them at all. They're going to play just how they play. But overall, I think personally it's a good thing. It's a better reflection of the individual and what he's doing in each game, rather than it carrying over from his teammates' successes. Maybe they could have just made this an extra category and left KD alone and just added a KM ratio. right? Kills per match. Maybe that's what they should have done. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. But with that, I am now going to bring you to the video of the random drawing. I did a video of it. That way you don't have to wonder, like, I wonder if the dude just picked one of his friends. Because trust me. All my friends told me, I'm going to win, right? I'm going to win. And honestly, I wish I could just pick them, you know? But I can't. First off, I have too many friends that want it. And second off, it's just not fair. So, got 4 more chances, guys. Sorry. I wish I could have just handpicked you. But, got to keep it honest.